Good morning, students. So have you completed your homework programs? Any doubts regarding that? Number of ones in a given byte. Okay. Accumulator. 8 is your counter. R2 is for storing number of ones. Okay, rotate left to carry and jump to carry L1, otherwise increment R2. Program is correct. What about others? So you have to get the number through your DPTR, or otherwise you can directly initialize your 8-bit data and rotate the accumulator content towards left through carry. After that, you check the carry flag. If carry is not set, you decrement the count. Okay, otherwise increment register R2 in order to store your number of ones. When count register becomes 0, you have to store your result. So that is the logic behind this program. Any doubts? So what about second program? Have you all completed? Students, please respond. What about second program? So this is your second program. So 4 port lines has been used here. That is port 0.0 to 0.3. Okay. So this data is to be displayed on 4 LEDs. So P1.4 to P1.7. So for this program, you can use swap instruction instead of using rotate instruction. Okay. So Bala Meenakshi, we cannot set the entire port. Okay. Here you have to give P1.0 or 1.2 individual bits can be set or reset. So this first instruction cannot be accepted by your 8051. Okay, for that you have to move FF to P0 for input configuration. Okay. So I will explain the first program. So this is your first one. So initially R0 is clear. So this, sorry, R1 is clear. So this R1 is going to store your total number of ones in a 8-bit data. And next, this is going to be your count register, because since your input data is 8-bit data, so you have to rotate the number 8 times. Okay, so you have to load 8 into R7. So directly I have initialized one 8-bit data to accumulator and rotate the accumulator towards left through carry. After the execution of RLCA, I am going to check carry flag status. Okay. When carry is equal to 0, your program control transfers to next loop and decrement your R7 register. So your first rotation is completed. Here no carry flag is set. So your count will be decremented here. If carry is set means you have to increment R1. So this R1 is used to store your number of ones. So this loop has been repeated until R7 becomes 0. From D0 to D7, the bits are rotated by using this RLC. So looping action can be done by using this decrement jump no zero instruction. Okay. So next one. So you have to get the data from P0.0 to P0.3, 4-bit data. Okay. So that data should be displayed on P1.4 to P1.7. Okay. So for that, first you configure P0 port 0 as an input port by writing FF2 individual port pins. Writing 1, 2 individual port pins of P0. So this instruction is used for configuring port 0 as an input. Okay. So it's mainly for input configuration. So now your port is ready to act as input port. So after the execution of this particular line, you can get the data from P0 and transfer that data to accumulator. So here we have to copy the data from LSB of your port 0. Port 0. And this should be written into MSB of port 1. Okay. So after that, the result is in accumulator, you have to extract your LSB alone. You have to extract your LSB, that is LSB of your port 0. For that, use AND L A comma 0F. So this instruction is used to mask your MSB and LSB will be extracted. Suppose if your data was 34, this 4 will be holded by P0.0 to 0.3. I am adding 34 with 0F. This 4 will be extracted. Now your accumulator holds 04. Okay. So next instruction will be swap accumulator. So now the data becomes 40. So LSB and MSB exchanged. Okay. So we have to transfer the data from LSB of port 0 to MSB of port 1. For that, we have to exchange the accumulator content. So LSB is exchanged with MSB. After that, you move accumulator content to P1. So this is the logic behind this program. So first, you make P0 as an input port by writing FF to P0. And after that, whatever data available in port 0, that data should be transferred to accumulator. And for extracting LSB, you have to perform AND operation by ANDing 0F with accumulator. And we are moving LSB data to MSB data. So swap accumulator content. After that, write the data to P1. Is that clear? Please note down the solution. So your first unit is completed here. So next we will start the second unit. The first topic of your second unit is IO ports, 8051 IO ports. So do you have any doubts? The first unit topics. So your first unit covers architecture, pin diagram, okay, memory, that is your program memory and data memory, and instruction set along with simple assembly language programs. Okay. So next we move on to the next topic, IO port programming, 8051 IO port programming. So 8051, as you know already, 8051 has got 4 8-bit ports, namely port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3, and each port is associated with a special function register, that is the register popularly called special function register. Okay, so every port is associated with one special function register. So these registers are used to manage the port activity of 8051. Okay, so here you can see we have 4 ports, port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. So port 0 is associated with the register having address 80. Similarly, port 1 90, port 2 A0, port 3 P0. So each of this, with help of each of these ports, the 8051 interacts with the external world. So 8051 can interact with the external devices through port 0, port 1 and port 2 and port 3, and each port is associated with one special function register having address of 80, that is for port 0 80, port 1 90, port 2 A0 and port 3 P0. Okay, so all the ports are bit addressable ports. So all these ports are also bit addressable. So that means you can set or reset individual port pins of 8051. So you can set and reset each bit of port. So each bit of port means from port 0.0 to 0.7. So each bit is associated with one address. For P 0.080, 0.181, such as 0.787. Similarly, port 1.0 starting from 19 and ends with 97. It starts with A0, ends with A7 for port 2. Port 3, B0, B7. Please make note of it. It's very important while programming IO ports in 8051. Please note down the address. So user side, we can access individual port pins. So that is the unique feature of 8051. And every pin is associated with one 8-bit address. So port 0 80 to 87, port 1 90 to 97, port 2 A0 to A7, P3 P0 to B7. So let's try to understand the ports in more detail by looking at the logic diagram. The logic diagram is given in the slide. So as you can see, the logic diagram has got 3 components. And here the important thing is the port 1, port 2, port 1, port 2, and port 3. So they have this particular logic diagram. Okay. If we talk about port 0, then internal pull-up resistance is not present. In case of port 0, this resistance is not present. Therefore, whenever we use port 0, we have to use the external pull-up resistance. So that is the difference between your P0, P1, P2 and P3. So the only difference between P0 with other ports is the internal pull-up resistance. In case of port 0, the internal pull-up resistance is not present. So we have to add pull-up resistance externally. I will explain that in detail, okay? what would be the first step for input port configuration? So how can you configure a particular port as an input? Please tell me. FF, very good. We have to write one to the individual port pins of your 8051, okay? So one has to be written onto the latch of port 0. So you have to write one here.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, whether are you presenting anything?
Huh?
Whether are you presenting anything?
1 second.
Ma'am, your screen is not visible,
okay,
ma'am.
okay, 1 second. Now it is visible?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's visible, ma'am.
Eppar visible alla? IO
10 minutes visible.
Huh?
10 minutes visible.
ஷோ சொல்லணும்ல, நான் வாட பேசிட்டு இருக்கேன். வாடி சொல்லட்டாதா? இங்க நிறைய டெக்னிக்கல் இஷ்யூஸ் இருக்குப்பா. ஸ்லைடு எஸ்கேப் கொடுத்தா இங்க பிரசன்ட் க்ளோஸ் ஆயிருது. நான் பாட்டு பேசிட்டு இருக்கேன், யாராவது ஒருத்தவங்க சொல்லணும்ல.
நீங்க क्वेश्चन கேக்கும் போதுல இருந்து தான் மேம் விசிபிள் ஆல. யூ ஆஸ்க் மேம் how to configure.
ஆமா,
அப்போதுல இருந்து தான் மேம் விசிபிள் ஆல. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இதுல வந்ததா?
இது
இது பார்த்தாச்சு மேம்.
இது பார்த்தாச்சா?
இது பார்த்தா.
இதுதானே.
இதுல இருந்து பார்க்கலாம்.
அத எஸ்கேப் கொடுக்கும்போது பிரசன்டேஷன் சம்டைம்ஸ் க்ளோஸ் ஆயிருது. ப்ளீஸ் டெல் மீ.
மேம் இந்த போர்ட் முன்னாடி ஸ்லைட்ல இருந்தே பார்க்கலாமா?
எதுமா? இது
இதுல இருந்து இது பார்த்தோம் மேம். இதுக்கு அப்புறம் பார்க்கலாம்.
இதுக்கு அப்புறம் இது
பார்க்கல மேம்.
இது பார்க்கல. ஓகே.
I mean the hardware structure la பார்க்கணும்.
Okay. Actually we have got three important components. One is D-latch, tri-state buffer and transistor, okay? So this D-latch is mainly for storing your pin value. So it is controlled by write to latch signal. So write to latch is one means the data can be returned into D-latch. So the completely your D-latch is controlled by this particular signal. And two tri-state buffer, upper and lower. So TB1 is your lower one, okay? And TB2 is the upper one. So this TB1 is controlled by read pin, which is used to read the data present at the port pins, okay? And next TB2 is controlled by read latch. So this is your read latch signal. So this upper tri-state buffer is controlled by read latch. So it is used to read value from internal latch. And in port 1, 2, 3, we have one transistor, that is M1 transistor. When gate is equal to 0, it acts as open switch, otherwise closed switch. In case of port 0, we got two transistor, M1 and M2, okay. So just you look at this port 0 logic diagram. So your port 0 can be used for IO operation, or sometimes it can be configured as lower order address and data bus for accessing external memory elements, okay. So here this component is your D-latch, and additional component is 2:1 mux multiplier, okay, 2:1 mux. So this is for your external memory address accessing, and we have two transistor, FET1 and FET2, okay. So when port 0 is used for input configuration, one has to be written on to the latch of port 0. So that is the first step. Please note down the steps one by one. So 1 has to be written on to the latch of port 0. Okay. And one more point is here, the control signal. So the control signal has to be 0. The control signal has to be 0 when port 0 is used for IO operation. When port 0 is used for IO operation, the control signal has to be 0. Please make a note of it. It's a very important point. And it has to be 1 when it is used for external memory. So two type of operation, one is IO operation and the other one is the external memory operation. Okay. So that is decided by your control signal. When control signal is 0 means port 0 is used for IO operation. Suppose 1 means it is used for external memory operation. So coming back here, okay. So now we are configuring this particular port pin, that is P0.X as input, okay. X represents 0 to 7. That is P 0.0 to 0.7. So 1 has to be written onto the latch. When we enable this write to latch enable, okay, that is by activating write to latch enable signal, the data will be visible at your Q bar. So what is the output now? I am applying 1 to D latch. What is Q and what will be Q bar? Can you understand my question? I am writing 1 to D latch. What is the output? What is Q? 1 or 0?
1, ma'am.
1. Here Q bar is complement of Q. The output is 0. So this particular circuit is for IO operation. So that case your control signal is 0. So 2:1 mux allow the signal from Q bar to pass through it. This signal is completely blocked. When control signal is 0, 0 and with 0 output will be 0. Okay. So when control signal is 0, this 2:1 mux allow the signal from Q bar to pass through it. Otherwise, it will allow A to D to pass through it. So based on control signal status, your 2:1 mux will allow the signal. Is that okay? Is that clear? So what is the output of mux? Here output is 0, same output is 0. Okay, open, open. Upper and lower fits act as open switch. That means it does not allow anything to pass through it. Okay. Do you understand? I am writing 1 here. The output of Q is 1. Q bar is 0. When control signal is 0, it will not allow the signal from A to D to 2:1 mux. So your Q bar is propagated through 2:1 mux. So the output of this mux is 0. Here control signal 0, 0 and with 0 or any signal 0 and with 0 or 1, your output will be 0. So both the transistor are in off state. Okay. So if I measure voltage at this point, okay, so what is the status here? What is the voltage at this point? Here opened and also this transistor is opened. So here it is going to be in high impedance state because this point is neither connected to 1 nor connected to ground or 0. So it is at the third stage. Third stage is nothing but high impedance state. Okay. Do you understand? So this is neither connected to VCC nor connected to ground. So it is in high impedance state in case of port 0 as input. So I will explain this high impedance state in later slides. Okay. So in this way, we can configure your port 0 as input. Okay. Is it clear? So I am writing 1 to D latch. Output of Q is 1, Q bar is 0. So 2:1 must allow the signal to pass through it. So output is 0. Here control signal is 0, 0 and with 0, your output is 0. Both the transistor are in off state condition. This point is in high impedance state because this point is neither connected to VCC nor connected to ground. So it is one of the disadvantage of port 0. I will explain that 0. I will explain that later. Actually, now your port 0 is configured, that is ready to act as input port. Suppose external device, for example, ADC or keypad, if they want to write something, 0 means they will override high impedance by 0 at point A, this point. So if it acts as input port, it ready to accept the values from external device. For example, AD is connected externally. It can accept either 0 or 1. Suppose if it is 0 means it will override the high impedance state by 0 and that value will be passed through this lower tri-state buffer. It can be read by this lower tri-state buffer. After that, the particular data is latched into internal database. So this is the operation of your input port. So we can read the data through lower tri-state buffer. But the case is every time 0 means it will overwrite a high impedance by 0 and then that data was given to your lower tri-state buffer. Any doubts?
Ma'am?
Yes.
And I have doubt regarding that inputs to the 2:1 mux, ma'am.
Okay, tell me. What is your doubt?
And how it is, how the 2:1 mux output is 0 because Q bar is equal to 0.
Okay.
And select line will be 0 only, no, it is connected to control signal, right?
Actually, the control signal is for only external memory accessing. Okay. Suppose
Yes,
if in the case of actually this particular port is used for two purposes. One is for external memory access. Another one is for IO operation. In case of IO operation, 0 has to be written in the control signal. Okay. So
yes,
that case 0 and with any signal. Suppose your address line is 1 or 0. 0 and with any signal, your output will be 0. Okay.
yes.
So when the control signal is 0, only it will allow the data from Q bar. This will be blocked.
Okay.
When control signal is 1, the signal is propagated from address data to this 2:1 mux.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So the control signal will decide the IO operation or external memory operation. I will explain that later. Next slides. Okay.
Yes.
So next, output. Port 0 as output. So to make port 0 as output, 0 has to be written in the D latch. Okay. So find out the output. What is Q? What is Q bar? What about your transistor? Please tell me. To make port 0 as output, you have to write 0 at the D latch pin. Okay, what is the output? What is Q output and Q bar output? What is Q?
0, ma'am.
0. Q bar?
1.
1. Control signal is 0 here. 0 and with any signal, output is 0. And this signal is propagated through 2:1 mux, output is 1. Okay. So it act as open switch. This one act as closed switch. What is the output voltage here? This point. So this point is grounded. This point is grounded. So the value available here is 0 voltage. Now your port 0 act as output port. So now your port 0 ready to act as output. Okay. So first step, you have to write 0 into the D latch. Q is 0, Q bar is 1. So your upper transistor is turned off and lower transistor turned on. So this line is grounded. So your output is 0 voltage. Now your port 0 acts as a output port. So next operation will be how to write output 0 and 1. இப்போ ஒரு port வந்து output ஆயிருச்சு, output-ஆ இருந்ததா என்ன values எல்லாம் send பண்ண முடியும்? A particular port is configured as a output port. நீங்க மைக்ரோ கண்ட்ரோலர் இருந்து என்ன values எல்லாம் write பண்ண முடியும் ஒரு particular portல? எதெல்லாம் output பண்ண முடியும்? See, your port 0.1 is configured as output port. Output port means we are sending data from microcontroller to external devices. Okay, that is the meaning of this output. So we can send either 0 or 1 to external device. Is that clear? From microcontroller to external device, we can send either 0 or 1 through this P0.x. So next process, we will see how to output 0 and 1. So next class, I will explain how to output 0 and 1 using this particular logic diagram. So this is for your input and this diagram is for output. Please note down the step. So it's only for input and output configuration. So next class, I will explain how to output 0 and 1 in port 0 output configuration, and also how the problem high impedance state problem will be solved in port 0. Tomorrow class, I will explain about high impedance state problem and how to output 0 and 1. Any other doubts? Any doubts regarding this logic diagram? This is very important topic in unit 2.
Ma'am, that add data, that line is there, ma'am. So what will be the input in that place?
I will explain in the next class, ma. This block I will explain in the next class. Address bar data. Actually, your port 0 can be configured as lower order address and data. It can carry lower order address and data lines. That can be sent by using this AD bar data. I will explain in the tomorrow's class. So be clear with this D latch and 2:mux. For external memory accessing, I will explain in the tomorrow class. So this part is port 0 for external memory. Do you have any doubts regarding input configuration and output configuration? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.